Very good morning, guys. My name is Shivraj, and I have started a new series in my YouTube channel that is named as Gen Z JavaScript. So, in this series, we will be learning React.js, Angular, and JavaScript. All the important concepts we will be learning here. And I am a full stack developer with having 10 plus year of experience under my belt. And guys, please subscribe to my channel so that you will be notified for all the upcoming videos. Thank you.
So guys, this will be the part 3 video of our React testing library. In this, we'll be going more into advanced level, and here we'll be mocking the external libraries that we are using in our project, and also we will see how to test the custom hook, how to write the testable code for the custom hook using a React testing library plus Jest. So as we know that if you are creating your React.js application using Vite, then React testing library, all this comes up with your code. You don't have to install it manually. Otherwise, you will have to install manually Jest and React testing library, right? So how can we mock? So for suppose you must be using HTTP in your project, right, in order to call the APIs. So you'll be using directly fetch of JavaScript, but we have Exhaust library, which is far better, far very useful, and like very much used with the React.js. So Exhaust library, if you have worked on various projects, you will see Exhaust library is using, and it also have, you can see in npm it will have lots of downloads. So it says that it's a very good library. So you will be seeing it is commonly used in React.js projects. So here we are gonna mock this Exhaust library. So how we will do this? So for suppose we have a component code from line number 13. What we have use effect hook and we have use state hook from React, and then we have this library Exaios coming from Exaios. So this Exaios, because we have installed in our React.js, that's why you can see it here. And then we are starting writing our functional React.js component. So here our functional component name is user list Exaios. So it must be getting user list, right? And in line number 17 and 18 we have first is like this array. This use state is returning us. Initially it is assigned with blank array, so it is an empty array users. So this is a state for our component users, and which has empty array right now, and set users is a updater function by which we can update this state. Same wise we have one more state which will handle for loading for our component. So here we are providing true initially, and then we have set loading through which we can update this loading state. And then we have use effect hook, and as we know, use effect hook we use to handle side effects and like to call APIs to interact with the outside world. So here we are interacting with the this API. So this we are call using use effect. Inside use effect we have this async function, and in async function you can also write await. So what await will do, it will wait, it will pause here till this promises till this API returns something, right? Whether it's resolved or reject. So till this promise is resolved or rejected, it will await here. As soon as this promise is resolved or rejected, then it will move forward. Then we have set users to set data. So this user state we will be updating with the help of this updater function that we have received from use state. And we have set loading. This is also updater function that we have received from use state. So what is the benefit? This we already know. Whenever we are updating state with this updater function, our UI re-renders, and that is how we are able to see the new data. So now this all we have to mock, and here we have loading state. If loading is true, we are showing loading. If it become false, we will remove this, and instead we will show this, right? And then how to mock it? So in this you see we have to mock this actual API, right? This actual Exaios, because we don't want to make an actual network call. We just want to test this logic. So in order to do that We have used in line number 53 we have simply just mocked it, so we can mock it like jest.mock exis. So we have mocked this module, right? And this all we know from our previous videos. We have to import our component and xios. We are importing from xios, and we have testing library. And then what we are doing, we are using mock resolved value once. So this is like faking the exhaust get, so that whenever this exhaust get is called in our this react testing library, in our testing code, it will always return this, because we are not making the actual call, we are just testing this logic, right? So how it will happen, it will first render the component. So as soon as this component renders, so what will happen as soon as this component renders, initially it will have this initially it has these states, and then as soon as the component renders, after that it calls use effect, and then this use effect uh, is initially we will see loading, right, because it is true. And then see, initially in line number 18 it is true, see, that's why we are showing loading, so that is correct. And then so we are expecting this loading to be in the document, so we know this will check it's present in a document, right? So this will pass. And then we are using wait for to render our component, and wait for that API just to mock that, right? So and so then once our API that mock resolved this we have, right, to mock the response. So once we get this, then it will say to have called one time at least. So get that function that we have in the original one, so that is called at least one time. This one, this get URL, right? So this piece we can test it like this, just mock exios and mock the exios.get function, so that it does not make the original call and it returns in the same way. And this is how, using wait for, we are waiting for the user to appear. And this is how we can test it. So we have four expectations here, four expect, these are the matchers. And this is how we are matching: to be in the document, to be in the document, to be in the document, and to have been called. So for calling, like one time it is called, that we want to check, we can check it like this. And these data is in the document, so this is, we can check with it to be in the document. So this is how we can test any library we can mock, right? And next will be, and you can go through his notes, all explanation is here. It is very well written, everything. And then how to first of all how to create custom hooks, and second thing is how to test custom hooks. So if you want to create your own custom hook, like for suppose you want to keep your component very neat and clean, and you have suppose multiple components where you are having different URLs, and in those components, suppose you are showing table, right? Suppose you have five components, and you have five different tables, and or five different some data you want to show. So in all these five components, you have five APIs, different APIs that is bringing the data, right? And then you can, how you can do it is, you can create a custom hook, right? In custom hook, you can pass that API URL, right? And then that custom hook will return you the data which is written by the API. So you don't have to write everywhere, just write, make that custom hook, call that custom hook in every component and pass the URL. That's it. So that we will see it here. So the use case which I just told you, you have to imagine it, and then you think how this will be useful. This custom hook will be very useful if you use it like that. So here we have custom hook, and in React, the standard way is you are writing this use fetch. Our hook name is use, so it's starting with use use. So all these states, all these hooks that we have in our React, they start with use. So this is how our React knows that is a custom hook. So this, our custom hook name is use fetch. So what this is doing, it is just fetching whatever URL you are passing it. It will fetch it and provide you the data and also the state. So initially, see what we are doing. So we have created our this custom hook, right? In this we have just two state. One is data, one is loading, and we have set data and set loading to update these states. These we are getting from use state. This we already know. And then use effect, what it is doing inside this, we are calling our API, and our API, we always, because it is asynchronous type, these are operations that we call our API, these are asynchronous type. So that's why we're handling with help of async and await. So async function, inside async function only we can write await. What await will do, await will wait till this API response we receive. As soon as we receive the response from the API, as soon as the promise is resolved or rejected, then we will be like, first of all, response.json, we will be parsing it into JSON, and then we are setting the state, set JSON and set this loading state. So both the state are again set. So as soon as they will set, this will re-render, and we will get a new data will be returning data and loading. So in which component, in wherever we are using this custom hook, it will receive, initially it will receive this loading state true, so it will show loader in the component. And then as soon as this use effect hook is completed, the response is brought back and this states has been updated, data and loading, then the component, all the five component will receive similarly data and loading, and that's how they will show it. So it will be a very clean way of writing. You can, like this, you can create your own custom hook. Now how to test it, how to test your custom hook. So in order to test your custom hook, you can this use render hook from this library, and it has this in notes, you can see how you can install it. And then very simple, you just have to, this global.fetch, we are firstly mocking this global.fetch, and this is how we are resolving. So we are returning this response, right? And then we are testing it, fetches data successfully. So this test we are doing, so we know, like this we write our test, and then inside it, inside render hook, we have passed the use fetch, and because we have mocked it, so it will not make an actual API call, it will return this one fetch. So when we will call this, so it returns this one because we have mocked this, right? So we are just mimicking this the custom hook that we have created here, right? But we don't want to make an actual network call. That's why we just have to firstly mock in 149, we just mocked it, and then we are trying to call this component in line 156, we are trying to call this custom hook, right? And then use fetch, right? This, so as soon as, whenever we'll call the use fetch, it will fetch, it will exhaust will fetch the see, whenever we make this call here, so it will fetch this, right? So this fetch we want to mock, we don't want to make an actual network call, so that's why we written global.fetch and we have mocked it. So now whenever you are using use fetch, it will not make an actual network call, instead it will fake that response that we are getting. And that is how we are checking the loading state. Initially it will be true, and then after await, the length becomes 2 because we have received this mock data. So this array contains 2 objects. So this is how we can test it. Rest, guys, you can go through these notes, well written, very well written. You will have a good understanding how to run command, this simply npm test, to test your all the code that we have in React.js. Or if you want to run only a single component, functional component, just write that name npm test and that component name, so it will run only for that component. For suppose you are working on your story, right? So there you have touched only 2 3 components, so just run only those components, right? Why to run whole projects? If project is bigger, like if the project is very big, which contains like 40 50 components, right? Functional component, it will take too much time, 5 10 minutes. So like 5 minutes at least. So instead, if you run a single component, it will be like in a 30 seconds, so right, it saves time. So just npm test in that component name, and it will show you like this. So this is all, guys, about this video. I hope you are getting the gist, that you are getting the knowledge from these series that I have started, Gen Z JavaScript series. So I will try my best to create to come up with the more and good videos that will be useful for us. So thank you, guys, and please keep liking, sharing, and do comment how you are liking these videos. And if I miss something, we can discuss more on the comments. So thank you, guys.